Hello everybody, and I'd like to welcome you once more to our Northern Illinois University Handbook Wiki Citation website how-to tutorial. Today on the list we are going to cite a website. Now, a website can be inclusive of any sort of generic type of website, from you know Bob's homepage to a blog to the New York Times displaying an article on their homepage. It's kind of sort of the catch-all. So if you are in doubt when you're citing something online, it's probably pretty safe to cite it as a website. Now, we do have a number of other pages that you can have a look at to cite things much more specifically, such as tweets, forum posts, stuff like YouTube, or stuff you get off of Facebook. There's going to be slightly different plans for that stuff, and if you want to be a superstar, I'd recommend you go do that kind of stuff. But if you cite your resource that you found online as a website, you're probably going to be pretty safe. So, first things first, I want you to have a look at this website. Now, we're looking at zombie apocalypse preparedness here because why the heck not? When you're citing, and last thing, as always, have a look at the bottom of the screen. You're going to see a nice big white screen of a page. That is always going to include all the information you need to have in order to fill out a citation. All right? Now, if you have a look down there, you're going to notice that the very first thing on there is the name of the author. Now, on a website, there's, as often as not, this is not going to be available information. For instance, if you have some guy named Tracer555, you can't exactly cite that guy as the author of your website. However, a good resource that you find online is usually going to have a posted name somewhere. Someone you can track down, someone you can put on your citation. In this case, for our zombie apocalypse plan, you can find it right here. The guy's name is Ali S. Khan, and if we pop it open in a new tab, we can find a whole bunch more stuff that he does and who the heck he is and why we should listen to him. Handy stuff for when your teacher starts asking you about source evaluation, but for the time being, all you need to do is type in his name. Now, to do that, you're going to put his last name first. So we're going to put Khan in the first bit, as you see I'm doing down there, and then comma, Ali S. Once in a while, you're going to have more than one author at a time. That's not very common online. But after that, if it happens, what you do is after the first author's name, you just revert to normal. You put it Ali S. Khan. Subsequently, you can see this in a lot more detail in our Cite a Book how-to video. So for the time being, we're just going to assume that there's only ever going to be one guy there, and we're going to keep on going. Now, the next thing you're going to be looking for is the name of the website. A couple of different places you can look for this. Sometimes you're going to have a nice big, bold, usually large text title for your website that's going to appear right before an article or a blog post or something on that order. That's always a really good one to use for the name of the website. But that doesn't always exist. I mean, you guys have all seen sorts of websites where there's nothing like that. When in doubt, have a look right up here where the tabs are. You're going to notice it'll say something like, in this case, CDC-blogs-public health, and so on and so forth. If you kind of hover over it, you're going to get the full title pop out, just like I did there. You can write that down as the title. In this case, when you see that, it looks like they've put a chain of hierarchy that leads down to the Preparedness 101 Zombie Apocalypse. To me, it looks like Preparedness 101 Zombie Apocalypse is most definitely the title of this webpage. So what you're going to want to do is put that in the name of site section below, like I am right now, and make sure it's in italics. That's how we can tell that this is the name of what we're doing. Now, the next thing you're going to want to look for is a version number. This is not too common anymore. It used to be a thing that was a lot more common back in the day, and by back in the day I mean before 2000. But a couple of people still do it now, so we keep a spot in the citation formula just in case. Where you're going to find that is not at the top. So grab the scroll bar here and just scroll all the way down to the bottom. It's always going to be at the bottom. And you'll see it somewhere down here, if there is one. In this case, there isn't. So, in our case, as I am doing right now, I want you to just delete that, pretend it doesn't exist. Now, the next thing you're going to look for is a sponsoring organization. Servers aren't free, neither is the production of content. So a lot of time, someone has to foot the bill for all that web traffic that you're going to get. Your sponsoring organization is usually in the top banner right here at the top. And in our case, it is the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC. So this one's easy. You just put Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in the sponsoring organization. If you really want to, you can put the CDC there because the CDC is a really well-known organization, but most time you're going to want to spell it out. And again, when in doubt, spell it out in this one. So that was pretty easy. Data publication can be a lot more difficult. See? We have a date right here. Should be easy, right? Well, here's the thing. Websites, once you put them up, don't just stay put. They change, they evolve, they get revised, and they get added to. So a lot of the times, this information that you see right here at the top is not really accurate. So when you see this, jot it down on a piece of paper, keep a note of where it appears on the page, and then keep looking around, because oftentimes you will find somewhere at the bottom something like this, where the page has been updated since the article was originally posted. Now, in this case, what that means is that your date of publication is not the original publication date, but the date that the page was last updated. So in this case, we're going to put July 2nd, 2013 down on date of publication, as I am doing right now. The next bit, I've already filled in. We're looking at a web resource, so it's always going to say web. Easy peasy, skip it right over. The last thing is just about equally easy. It's the date of access, when we came here to have a look at it. So just type down today's date. In this case, it is October 18th, 2013. And that's it. That's it. You have a perfect citation for this website.